Hello. And we are live. Yes, we are. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Misadventures League. My name is Okami. I am going to be your facilitator and guide today into the world of Kasia. uh, Folklore punk fantasy setting, using my personal homebrew hack of Wander Home, powered by Wander Home, uh, to take all of these people on a journey in our second series called Songs on the Wind. I know that's a lot of titles for one project, but I'm pretentious and cozy. And that's what we're here. We're going to embrace some cozy vibes, some folklore punk vibes. And as I said before, my name is Okami. My pronouns are he, they. I'm going to be the guide and facilitator for our travelers. I'm going to popcorn around the table and have everybody introduce themselves, the projects they're working on. I have some very, very, very talented players and performers, and also the character that they're playing. And once we're done doing that, we will jump back into our journey. We're going to go ahead and start over with Rosie.
It's me. Hi, I'm Rosie Bodahip, she, they pronouns. Today I will be playing Pinnapen Pip Poppy Hopper, they, them pronouns, a bard in this wonderful and cozy world. I have an upcoming AP over on Girls Run These Worlds that'll be starting in October, and my commissions are open for OC character art. If that is something that interests you, go to sweetrosieb.com to get all of those details and see some other stuff that I've been working on.
And we're going to keep hopping over to Snow, also known as Steve.
Hi, hello. I'm Steve, also known as Sassy Pants. My pronouns are he, him. I'm going to be playing Snow Henry. Cool, chill dude vibes. The absolute opposite, actually. But anyway, you can find me on Twitter or Instagram under SteveH4815, on Twitch under SassyPants1996. I also run an AP studio where I called Pastor Tables everywhere, no space, where I run where I try to shine a spotlight on underrepresented talent, playing a bunch of really cool games and doing a bunch of really cool things. We are currently casting for a big 48-hour charity event from September 27th to 29th. It's like a big fucking deal. 12 games back to back being done by 12 fantastic people. If you're interested and would like to apply to those games, hit me up, or you'll find the links all over my social media feeds as well. Yeah, that's basically me. I'm going to popcorn it over to Rice.
Hello, I'm Lice, also known as Sick Rice today. Unfortunately, I won't be able to do the voices today, but I'm Rice Cakes, they, she, and I am playing Celine, she, they, the Dragon Witch of this campaign. Coming up as projects, apart from the fact that I'm working on some animatics and I'm hoping to finish them by the end of the month, most likely we'll finish them by the end of the month. I also am playing in a game of D&D on the Pencil Stables, which is run by Steve, in the Dark Waters. I keep stuttering over my words at the moment because I'm trying not to cough. I'm playing together with Steve and Hector, and yeah, stay tuned on my Twitter, which is the original Res, where you can find me, and you will be able to see all of the campaigns I've been playing in so far turned into animatics. Yay! And I'm going to give it to Alex.
Hey, everybody. I'm Lex Wilson. My friends call me Alex, and so can you. I use he, him pronouns, as is the character I'm playing, Conch. Rhymes with launch, or almost rhymes with launch. He is a night lantern with his bird companion, Lumpy. On Wednesdays, I'm playing Old Gods of Appalachia with Lantern Light Adventures. On Mondays, I'm playing Plasmatics with Daisies and Dragons. And right now, I am in the middle of kickstarting our comic book Starweed, the complete series. And we just announced one of our stretch goals, which is a TTRPG tie-in, which is a fiasco playset with my friends Zipporah Smith and Felice Kwan from Deck 9. And we are doing a free playset. It'll be free for everyone, not just for backers, but we want to hit the goal before we can release it. Small press books depend on word of mouth. So if you know someone who this might interest, please pass it along. Starweed.com would be the shortcut to the Kickstarter. Alex Zotic on Twitter, LexWilson.bsky.social on Blue Sky, LexWilson.com for anything else. But right now, Starweed.com for everything else. Please tell a friend. And I just got my COVID shot, so I'm a little bit loopy. If I have more brain farts than usual today, I will try to mute my mic because, as we all know, brain farts sound worse than they smell. Also, get vaccinated and spay and neuter your NPCs. Oh, and I did Steve's last charity event. It was a lot of fun, so do check that out.
Well. I seem to have forgotten to plug my own things. Tomorrow, join me and my friends from Pantsless Tables and playing Candela Obscura. Also, I will also be here. For what we're here for. Let's begin our journey. We're going to be returning to a place that we have already visited. And I want to ask some important questions. When you all wake up in the morning, enjoying your breakfast, watching the sunrise, sipping on warm tea sweetened by honey, fresh honey, has anything changed about the place you're visiting? Is there anything different from yesterday? And no is totally an acceptable answer. But I wanted to check in with all of you as we open on our travelers, if the place has changed or not, or if it's too soon. To review our place, we have been visiting Damasa, the city of 1,000 docks, a metropolis, a port, and a lagoon. Are there any aesthetics, folklores, maybe even a nature itself that is of more importance now? Or do we feel we just kind of want to leave it as is and go and explore the Hidden Grotto?
I say we leave it as it is, but if anybody wants anything else.
I don't have
agree.
a... Go ahead.
I was just saying I agree.
Oh, you agree? What do you think?
I don't have a take on whether the place has changed, but I think that something that might be changing in Conch is he's used to seeing light as a in terms of positive and negative. It's something that lights the way, something that guides. And I think he's probably been meditating on the idea that lighthouses and other beacons on the sea is often meant to warn people away, like from rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Don't crash. Don't. And so I think he's been meditating on how he sees light as a metaphor for good, which is not always healthy in our in the world and that sort of thing. So I think he's sort of meditating on that aspect. So I don't know that anything changed about that, or even if he changed, but he's just been thinking about that and as they spend the night here.
Okay. So you all get up, some perspectives having changed. and you have the map that leads you to the Hidden Grotto. What do you do? I present to the table.
And that's to see Mallard, I believe, is in the
Mallard,
grotto.
yes.
I think before we all leave, Selene is just going to be running around and getting everything she needs. She has like just everything from random herbs that she could need, from talismans that she carries around, from just of whatever assortments of things. There's probably some lost things that she pulls out, like, oh, I forgot I had this crystal. I don't even attune to this anymore. Oh, these herbs don't look good to be used anymore. Why do I still have these? So she's
just going through all of these different
like rearranging
objects.
your purse when you know you have to leave. And you keep finding things in your purse like, oh, when did I go to this store to have this thing? Right? Like that sort of way.
Just kind of flowing through. You hear like a loud like gong outside, like a bell, and you look and you can just see a ship on the ocean, just sort of like it's got this like ship's bell on it, just going across the horizon, catching all of your attention outside of the window of your room.
It reminds me that Cockle or Cockles, what was his name?
Cockle
Cockle
or C.
invited us or encouraged us to visit the docks and the fishwives for some food. Lilies was the fishwife that he recommended.
Yep.
So we could hit breakfast on our way out or something like that, or have a side quest if had plans for us there.
Do you want to jump to a food stand at the docks?
That sounds good.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I feel like so. Like the camera just kind of leans in on Celine going through stuff, and then there's a tight shot of Celine pulling out things, and the camera kind of blurs, and then it pulls back, and it's beautiful, bright, and sunny. You smell the sea air. You hear the cry of the sea skimmers, which instead of seagulls, you have these massive like water bugs that just sort of fly around and like will eat pieces of food and then fly away the same way that we have, seagulls. There's like a cool like painted sign that says "Don't feed the water bugs." Don't feed the water skimmers, like all hanging, and it's almost like there's like a competition between like who could paint the coolest "Don't feed the water skimmer" sign in front of their food stand. And you are in front of a brightly painted I say food stand because it's a permanent structure, but it's set up like like a modern day food truck essentially. So there's like outdoor tables and chairs. There's a solid wooden bar. You could see like a cast iron grill where they're constantly cooking shrimp and fish, and there's some chicken and beef there. But for the most part, it's grilled seafood, fresh vegetables. The fishwives are like singing while they're going around, and like some of them have trays and come over and will just sell you like fresh oysters, and then they have like a little side pouches with fresh lemon and packets of salt that they can like leave on the table. And that's separate from the hot food you can get at the bar. There's a giant pot of rice, just steaming rice cooked with saffron and garlic and butter that you can just order a bowl or a kebab, or pinchos is what they call them at the docks. And I think this particular food stand is Snow, what's the name of this food stand that Lily runs?
I think it's called Lily's Seafood Emporium.
Oh, kind of like a mirror of the tea house.
Shit, is the tea house also called something similar?
Yeah, yeah. It was no, I love that. I think that should be like a theme. Like
Everything's an emporium.
everything is an emporium.
Bag of Emporium instead of the bag of
Lily,
holding.
Lily
Yeah.
turns around and like, no, this is what there's like a little Easter egg. There's like there's like a sign that says iced tea made with Tika's Tea Emporium brews. So there's just like a big picture of cold tea, like sun tea that's had chunks of ice.
Emporium to table cuisine.
Yeah, Emporium to
very
table
big
cuisine.
in this city. Pay a premium, but it's worth it.
Lily is a young woman in her early 20s, long blonde hair pulled back into a messy bun that's being held up with actual like pincho skewers to just keep it all in place. One of the same kind of like sturdy linen work dress tunic, the same sturdy apron, except this is like splattered with like grease and like food and salt and spices, and then she takes off some gloves, sets them aside, washes her hands in like a little like side basin, and comes up and is like, what can I get for you folks? Order here, sit, we bring you the food.
Celine is going to first, before they order, is going to turn to Pip and be like, remember what I told you? You can't have a full bowl of just shrimp, right?
Are you sure?
I mean, if you want a full bowl of
Yes.
shrimp,
Mhm.
and I'm going
No.
to offer something that they really desire, because it's one of the moves in the metropolis. Oh, no, that's a market move. Never mind. I'm still going to do it. Like,
Okay.
they're just going to be like, I don't know. If you want a full bowl of my coconut fried shrimp, I can make that happen.
Pip, if you get shrimp, you must also get something to go with it. You can just have just shrimp.
Does it have to be green?
Yes.
Fine. I guess I'm going to get a bowl of shrimp and something green on the side, but just a little bit.
All right. She just like pulls out like a little pad and like scribbles it out. Tears it off, throws it in the air, and then it kind of catches on a breeze, floats, and then goes over to like a little metal order tray like in the back, and then it on its own, it just spins around, and you see a smoky hand reach and catch it, as manifesting is this entity that looks like it's made of smoke, clouds, and mist that starts taking all of the kitchen objects and cooking your meal while she's continuing to take orders.
Ghost food.
Oh, don't mind Whisper. They like to come and help on the weekends. What may I get for you? As they turn their attention over to Conch.
The pot of rice sounds really good. There's no innuendo there. There's no like it's wordplay. It just the way you describe the rice dish sounds great.
Okay. She's like, just a plain rice bowl. I've got some sweet fried plantains that might go good on top of this. What
Wonderful.
about? Okay.
Yeah, I'll take the upsell. Go for it. Yes.
Okay. All right. You know what? Do you like egg? Do you eat? Actually, no. She doesn't say that. Wanderhome's weird about that. I was about to say eggs.
I was supposed to say,
She's
yeah, but
she's
no.
just like
Okay, right,
grilled.
right.
Actually, she's like, you want some grilled salmon?
Absolutely.
Okay. So she gives you a bowl of the saffron garlic butter rice with just a strip of grilled salmon, and she does it herself because she goes over to the pot, and then like the salmon is like they have like these metal dishes like in the back area, and she goes over to where her smoky friend is and puts the salmon on there and puts the bowl together, slides it over to you. Shrimp's gonna take a little while because we're doing them fresh for you.
Lumpy and I
And
have a routine, so I sort of do the thing where I take a little portion of it, make sure that the salmon is included, and I move it to the side of my bowl, and then he eats the larger portion, and I eat the smaller portion. That's just how we do things.
She turns over her attention to Snow and says, "What are you feeling like eating today?" Bowls are pretty
It's still
fast.
early.
Anything else will take a little longer.
Yeah, that's fair. It's just Snow is fiddling with like a small locket that he's rubbing between his thumb and his index finger. He looks up and he's I didn't realize I was holding up the line. Sorry. I it's still early for me. I don't think I can do rice this early or shrimp. As delicious as that sounds, do you have like a breakfast sandwich or something like something like a
No, I've got
salmon and
yeah, I can fix you up a little breakfast. I got a breakfast salmon patty. How does that sound?
yeah, that sounds amazing.
Okay, that'll
And
just we'll cook that to order fresh. And the same process. She
yeah,
writes it, it gets caught on the wind. Anything else?
yeah. Do you have something warm to drink, like a tea or a coffee or something?
Oh, yes, no. I've got chai, I have coffee on the pot.
Yeah,
Um and of course, because we're a
sure.
beach town, we also have iced tea and cold brew. But if you want something hot, I'll get you a strong bit of coffee. Do you need any cream?
Yeah. No, actually, I'll have the chai instead.
Oh, okay.
This reminds me of home. So, yeah, and
Okay.
as hot as possible, please.
All right, I'll get on that in just a moment. Let me just take uh this lovely, oh, that's a fetching hat. Let me take this lovely lady's order, and then I'll start on your coffee and get you your food. And then you also see like now Mist has more arms, like the Whisper is who she called them, right? Whisper has more arms and is continuing to cook. And now Whisper's like slicing the bread and slicing the cheese and like frying, essentially making a very breakfasty salmon patty sandwich that kind of takes the place of the egg. Um uh and water home food, strange. And uh and then Lily just turns her attention to Celine.
Celine is going to um do a little wave, even though she already turned to her at some point because of the whole shrimp thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you can get me anything you recommend. It's perfectly fine. If you have a recommendation, I'll be happy to take it. And I do want iced tea, if
Okay,
possible.
you got it.
Also, a lovely companion that's cooking for you, by the way.
Oh, they're pretty amazing. He came with me from home, and there's a little twinkle in her eye. And she's like, we'll get right away on that order for you. Traveler special? and nods. We kind of smash cut as the camera kind of, as your guide, I'm gonna kind of take a moment of beauty. I can't really describe it to the table. You see your food lovingly being put together by this smoke kitchen mist spirit. And eventually you're all sitting around one of the tables around these beach chairs, the skimmers flying off in the distance, making their seagull-ish noises. And an actual seagull with a big flat cap, suspenders, big baggy tunic, shirt, sturdy work pants and fisherman's boots, comes with a big tray of steaming food and is like, there we go. Here's all of your food, all of your orders. He's got like a little metal rack that has like malt vinegar and chili sauce and like tomato paste and everything, a little bit of like sea salt, everything that you would need for condiments for seafood. He just sort of leaves it on there. And then also like leaves a tray of like hush puppies on the house for everybody. Please enjoy, and don't worry, there's special enchantments that are on the kitchen, so if there's any allergens, they should disappear. Yeah. It's a little piece of old magic that the boss picked up on her travels.
Lumpy's a big fan of fried food, as we all are, so this is very, very satisfying.
All right. Enjoy Lily's Emporium. He heads off, this seagull of a dude. Like, he's not actually a seagull, but like he just kind of like has the countenance of one. So he heads off.
Oh, we eat. I leave a very low Yelp review though, because I don't want anyone else to know about this place.
No.
Punch gatekeeping the Emporium. Oh my god.
Right.
Oh no.
So eventually you look out of the corner of your eye and you can see the guy, as he goes behind the booth, turns into an actual seagull and flies off, like avoiding all of the sea skimmers, these giant bugs that are like sea skulls, just kind of flying away from them.
I had a friend back in the old days who could do that, and I was so sure it
I
shame
can do
what happened
that.
to him, but
It just takes a minute.
wait, what?
I can do that.
I told you not to do that on an empty stomach now.
I know,
Also,
okay.
use a napkin if you're going to use sauce.
Wait, can you turn into anything or just a seagull?
Oh, I can turn into anything as long as I know it and I know the name of it. I can do that. Yeah.
Even a person?
No, just and they will make like little like animal sounds and like mannerisms. Yeah, any animal, any beastie.
Wait, so we could have two of names. What is Conch's animal friend's name?
Lumpy.
Oh, Lumpy.
Lumpy.
Yes.
Oh,
So we could have-
you know, Lumpy was warming up to you until you said that they were just able to transform into another Lumpy. No, there's only one. Oh,
There's
boy,
only one Lumpy.
Lumpy
You-
like pokes his head out and like looks at you with judgment.
I'm sorry, okay?
You know nothing, Henry, Snow. Oh boy. You do not know what you've awakened.
The bird just sort
Celine
of
is going to
Lumpy
try
just
to.
slinks back into the robes and just like
Celine is
vibrates
going
with
to try
imperiousness.
and. Celine is going to try and appease this angry god with some like seeds
The hush
from
puppy.
her.
Being called a god really does help. It goes a long way.
Exactly.
towards
See, like
Yeah.
Celine
recognizing-
knows. Celine knows. She's been doing the Lumpy's manicure for a while now. I mean, we established this in the last.
Yes.
We established this in the last game that Celine's doing. Lumpy's
Gain a token
manicure.
for giving a small offering to the small and forgotten gods.
I
As-
didn't actually think this.
As Lumpy like eats the seeds and glows a little bit, and you get this feeling of forgiveness on the part of Snow.
Well, that should last an hour.
And then they go dim again because it's still during the day, and they promptly pass out like from a food coma.
Yeah.
Oh,
The hush
And-
puppies will do that. Yeah,
Yeah, until Alex is ready to have them show up again.
that's right.
As the sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
As this feeling of forgiveness washes over the table, you see Snow just look down and you see him crack a rare soft smile as he hides his face again quickly and stuffs his face with the sandwich.
Pip, I think that Lumpy would enjoy a flying buddy from time to time. So, if you would if you would enjoy doing that, I'm sure I can arrange a play date.
Just sparkles in their eyes. They are so down for this.
And Snow, don't worry about it. He has a short temper and a shorter memory. So,
Oh, looks like we have something in common.
I would before we move on, if the table would like, I would actually like to describe what our Witch of the Dragon Song got for food. As you got the Traveler Special. When it arrives, it is a bowl of the garlic butter saffron rice. But on top of it is 2 fried plantains and what is known as bacalao, which is a deep fried cod. It's flat. It's like this wide. It's this thick, and it's pressed fish that's been dipped in like a garlicky spiced flour and fried. And you eat it kind of like almost like a pastry, but it's protein because it's like 80% fish and it's only like 20% crisp, and that is just tucked into the bowl with some plantains on top of the rice, and then and a pincho on the side, which is a stick with a big chunk of meat on it covered in sauce, and whatever the meat, and it's chicken.
Wow.
And it's
I can
just kind of
say Rice the player is very happy at the moment with Celine's choice. That is some really good food.
yeah.
Does Celine share this with anyone besides Lumpy? Involuntarily,
Um,
because Lumpy will probably try and steal it.
She will join the food. She will share the food with anybody that wants to try it. But she would also make sure that Conch gets a little bit extra because he keeps doing the split where Lumpy gets too much. So she's making sure he eats.
Okay. I don't eat any of the chicken. I think I'm going to stay away from bird. Like, I think that might be something.
Yeah,
that Conch
Lumpy
does.
will look.
I don't think she'd
judgmentally-
offer anyways.
Right,
I
right.
don't think she'd offer the chicken
But
anyways.
but yeah, thank you
Judgmentally.
for sharing. This is amazing thing.
Yeah, no, she would. It would be like one of those grandmas who keep being like they keep putting on her plate anyways, even though you finished what she gave you. You just wake up with more like, but I just finished. Why is there more?
Right.
So you continue to enjoy your meal, and like the camera kind of pulls out, and we see this beautiful kind of scenic, picturesque view of the coast, of the port, and the lagoon in the distance, the Hidden Grotto. How do we feel about jumping to the moss covered area right before going behind the waterfall after sharing a wonderful meal from the fishwife, Lily? Yes? We all good?
Yep.
All
Pip will eat
right.
all of their vegetables, I promise.
Oh, it was a seaweed salad.
Oh, nice.
It was like with all kinds of like with sesame seeds on top of
Mhm.
it, and it was marinated in like a really nice house sauce. So it was nice. It wasn't like, and it was a good portion like you got at a food stand, not at a sushi restaurant. No judge of
Mhm.
sushi restaurants, but you know.
Like an actual portion rather than like a ramekin, like a teeny tiny sauce bowl.
Yeah,
of it.
no, it was the actual like portion
Mhm.
that it just goes great with the shrimp, especially the coconut.
I think
Uh,
unbeknownst to Conch, Lumpy shares some of his food with Pip, worried that Celine is too strict about this diet of like, hey, we're on vacation. We're always on vacation. We're travelers. So what's
yes.
wrong with you? So
Oh
I
no.
think there's side dealing all over the place. We're
Yeah.
Yeah,
all
there's all
all
kinds of
doing it
like
to each
no.
other.
Little small trades.
it's
But
like
this
little
this is
small
our
trades
version
of
of family
food.
style, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we've all
Pip.
sort of settled into this routine.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
I'm just imagining the scene kind of opens with a Lumpy just eating one of the coconut shrimp still as you're on the side you see this beautiful waterfall coming down, mossy rocks, and you can see the shadow behind the waterfall of the lagoon. And I'm going to ask a question of Rosie.
Hmm.
You hear a whispering in the waters, and you feel like it's asking you a question. And I'm going to ask, what have you been thinking about lately?
Oh, what has Pip been thinking about? Pip has been thinking about what home means for them because it's not where they came from anymore. So looking forward towards either settling somewhere or is home where their people are. Um, they have been considering their place in the world, more or less. They are still quite young, with hopefully a lot of life left. And they just want to know where they belong.
Gain a token. As you think this, and you all make your way through the water, a cave opens up before you. Uh, it's long and deep and high, maybe up 20 feet, out 30 feet. It just kind of opens up. There's like a little, like maybe 10-foot wide, and like the ceiling is like 20 feet up. Like you can see the stalactites kind of dripping down. And there is a beautiful, like fluorescent light that is coming from the moss and the fauna that's inside, that is growing inside this cave, and from sunlight from above, like there's like and from through the water. And you see all kinds of like little symbols and things kind of etched into the various like stones that are in this chamber, and you see what looks like a little shrine of a statue of what looks like a robed short man, like maybe like a monk or of some kind, with a duck's head.
I think when the shrine appears, Celine is going to go to it and like clean it up a little, and begin to take some like herbs and things and light them up and cleanse the place, and then set some candles and everything. And probably she may have kept some of the food to put as an offering from like the morning. She puts that on the shrine as well. Like she's making sure it's all clean and
Taking care of
um
it.
yeah.
Okay, go ahead and take a token for giving an offering to the small and forgotten gods. And as you do that, it just sort of starts to shift and move. And then the statue moves and regards you. And there's a flash of light and water just sort of splashes on you, and the statue is not there anymore. Standing before you is a youth of some kind, maybe 14, whisper thin, wearing like drawstring green soft woolen trousers, a like rough spun bare like pale green tunic that just sort of like that they look like a stick figure in, like it looks maybe like a little too big for them, and then they just have this cool sleeveless vest that has all of these like pockets and accoutrement and charms and notes and things. And they have a massive headdress with a giant duck bill on top of it and just feathers that are the same green as the trousers. And it's just huge. And you're not sure if it's actually like a headdress or like part of their face. It's a little like you're little not sure because the feathers look like they're on the youth's like side. And they're just sort of floating there in the air, and like the headdress slash cloak just sort of flies out and they float down, and they're just like, well, hello.
Celine is going to kind of wipe the water because she's just been splashed in the face. Um, and then she's going to wave kindly. And it's not exactly that she crouches. She doesn't have to. She's kind of short. She rests her hands on her knees in like a motherly manner, sort of, because there's a child in front of her. Whenever there's a kid, she automatically, and she's going to, hello, um, I'm sorry. Uh, Technically speaking, I should have been. I mean, I would have made the offering anyways, but I was asked by Tika from the Tea Emporium to make a small offering to.
Tika. It's been a while since I've seen her. I'm so glad that you're here, Celine.
Oh,
Witch of the Dragon Song. I see you've
it
brought
seems my name precedes me.
Oh, and I see that your friends are here. And they
Snow is
just
just standing.
and now they kind of fly over and regard all of you individually, just sort of floating in the air. Oh, you're all most interesting. But I'm being rude. Allow me to introduce myself as he just sort of floats back. You may call me Mallard, teacher of the lost. You have my hospitality. It's always important when engaging in negotiations to do so over tea. And he it like flies out his hands like this, floats back, and there's a flash of light, and you all are in a warm, comfortable circular camp. There's a carpet, there's blankets, there's pillows, there's an ottoman, there's a low table, and there's tea and hot chocolate and hot mulled cider and spiced wine. A green glass and silver hookah has been set up, and all around you are like stacks of books and scrolls on the carpet. And in sitting on a rock, kind of holding court around all of you, and there's also like a fire nearby that's kind of keeping everybody warm. And there's what looks to be like an old man, 4 foot tall, wearing like the same outfit as the youth, but instead of like the duck-billed headdress, it's just a shock of like white hair with like streaks of green in it, where like you would assume a regular color would be. With deep, intense, dark, like brown green eyes, almost like the shimmering on a duck's feathers. And he's got like like a quill in his hand, and then like a little bench next to him with parchment, so he could just go over and write notes if he wants to. And he kind of sets the quill down, and he's like, I usually start with this, but you caught me off guard, so you met my true form first. Surprise! This is supposed to be the one that's more comfortable for humans. Did I misread the situation? You're the witch. You're the expert on people. I don't
I think you are doing lovely so far. Don't worry
Okay.
about it.
It's been a while. I'm very rusty. I haven't interacted with people. Mortals. You're not exactly mortal anymore. You're travelers. I haven't. It's been a while. I'm so glad that Tika sent you. Please have some hot chocolate. Have some tea. Let's thank you for the offering. But let's talk. You're looking for something. All of you are. And I can get you there. Or at least the next step on your journey. They don't call me the teacher of the lost for nothing. Nothing. I'm not a peddler. But it's important to trade. I will offer you a way to find the next step on your journey to understand yourself, especially you, Witch of the Dragon Song. But I'm going to need something from the four of you. I want you to teach me your magic. You can just do a little demonstration.
Is your lack of time with people for a while, is that by preference?
I don't know. No one's come here in a very long time.
Do you know why?
Maybe they've forgotten. People would come here and learn. I would teach them things. I would point them in the right direction, always for a reasonable exchange, or if it was truly serious, a favor for a later time.
Were all of your relationships transactional?
Most are, but I had some students that would stay here for a while, living with me, learning under my feet here in the Hidden Grotto. But when you're the teacher of the lost, it's your job to teach them to find what they're looking for. So no one ever really stays very long.
How do you feel about that?
I feel like you're very smart, Conch. Seems like you know what my end game is.
You think that I'm asking you these questions because I want something from you?
No, I think you're asking me these questions because you want to know what I really want. And everyone knows that small gods talk in riddles. And I feel like you're seeing through my riddle, and I shouldn't be surprised. You are a light bearer. So I will put all my cards on the table. Each of you has been blessed with a different kind of magic from venerable and forgotten gods, primal forces that did not participate in the War of 100 Kings. And yes, I want to see those. Those are important. But those are just the building blocks of what I wish to breathe to life for you. What I really want is to be free. I want to do something different, or do what I'm already doing better. I don't want to be forgotten. But at the same time, if I'm going to be forgotten, does it matter if I'm gone forever? If I become something else? Travelers are very special. There's something about the way the folklore of this land speaks to the four of you. It's even different than the magic of witches. You know this in your heart, Celine.
Can I? There's something I can do when I spend the token. I can give something that has the potential to change someone fundamentally. And Celine is going to kind of lean in a little bit, and she's going to beacon the Forgotten God closer. Like, come here, come
Oh,
here.
yes. Just comes,
Um,
waddles over.
can you show me your actual form again?
The old man Mallard, teacher of the lost, blinks, and once again turns into the floating, duck-feathered headdress youth, shimmering. And the youth, Mallard, looks cold and vulnerable and heartbreakingly beautiful and sad. And
Celine is going to be the first one to offer to show her magic. And she's going to kind of reach and take a piece of wood and put it on the table. And she's going to begin like taking different things, yarns, waxes. She's going to start carving into it. And then she's going to give the little charm she made to Mallard. And she's going to sort of breathe fire into it. And with that item, she's going to Mallard is going to feel like slowly there's something changing inside of him, like his nature. She's going to try and make him a person, a human, a normal human. Set him free.
What does everyone else do in this moment? Do you all also share your magic? Or are you all watching in awe at this moment?
I think at this point, watching in awe. Eventually, we might. But
He holds that in his hand. His eyes widen. Oh. It hovers over his hand, and with just a lift like this, it goes up and it kind of floats above, and the youth kind of gets up tall and says, before I accept your gift, I still need to see all of your magic to make something for you. It's most important to pay you back. For lack of a better term.
what would happen if you just accept it as a gift?
Valid point. And then you see smoke and mist start coming out of their mouth and filling the room, and it becomes cool and moist on your skin. There's still a moment of like unsureness as to what's happening. And with that, we're going to take a break. All right. We are going to take just a 10-minute break. We're going to relax. We're going to chill. And when we come back, we will see what happens when the mist settles. And we're live. Hello, everyone. We have returned from our break. We have collected ourselves. And now we are continuing on our journey. We were in a room full of mist inside of the Hidden Grotto. And when the mist clears, the grotto is empty. The warm setup isn't there anymore. The shrine is there, except it doesn't have the statue anymore. It's just a beautiful, pristine, sacred place. And you hear the roar of the waterfall behind you. But you can still feel Mallard's presence somewhere. Where do you go from here?
We could search for him.
Oh, hold on a second.
Mhm.
I didn't hear you.
Does the presence feel like it's pulling any which way?
Towards the waterfall.
Okay.
You're searching for him?
I mean, yeah. Are we searching for him? I don't know. What does everybody want to do?
Does it seem like he wanted to get lost, or is it?
You don't know. All that you know is that the mist came out, filled the room. He talked about giving you something. And then fell silent.
We asked him if he could just accept the gift that us.
Yeah. And he was like, I have to give you something, essentially, was what you got from him before the mist. Like, you were expecting, like, some small guy, because you deal with small, like, your pet, essentially, is a temperamental small. They have these weird rules sometimes. You can see it in some of Celine's, like, what you had. Just, sometimes spirits don't make sense. So this is definitely one of those situations. Unless there's any move you guys want to do. Remember, like, you're also captains of the story as well. I'm just here to guide you on the journey. But I will say it's empty. It's back to the way it was before. The shrine is not there. It's empty. And those of you that are kind of going can sense Mallard's presence, but it's coming from behind you, the way you came in.
Okay. I can, something that I can always do is illuminate all that is hard to see. So, can I tell? Maybe what I would like to do. I don't want to reveal him if he doesn't want to be revealed. So I kind of just want to illuminate what he might want us to do. Like if he had a preference, not that
as you kind of reach out, you get this feeling from being pulled towards that he does want to be revealed. How does that manifest? Or would you like me to kind of take the reins?
I say
he's outside. I will say that. The move will give you that he's outside.
Okay, so he probably can't see me right now. Yeah. Or if he can, okay. All right. I think he's behind us and outside. So let's go talk to him.
Sorry.
Go
ahead. I was going to say, as you say that, Lumpy will come out and start glowing and flying outside. Great. And Lumpy's light, in essence, your light, is going to start reflecting off of the waterfall, kind of illuminating the area.
Great. I was going to do something with Lumpy, so that's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah. And when if you head outside, everybody heads outside. Don't want to tell them what you're doing, but if you head outside, the path is illuminated. You see a man in his late 30s, early 40s, full brown beard, brown, shaggy, long hair, with really comfortable, like, fisherman's pants, green tunic, the overrobe of a scholar, with a belt that's got a textbook hanging from it, and a traveler's bag that's filled with scrolls slung over his back. It's the same eyes, the same weird eyes, but the countenance is fully human, like just grounded. There's not only the eyes, because there's only so much a witch can do. And he's standing there, and in the lagoon, like, is a ship. But you can't quite focus on it. It's like right in the edge of your perception. You can see it, but you can't focus on it in the moment. And the gentleman says, greetings. It's me. I'm Mallard. And you could sense the just sort of like a muted presence. Thank you, Witch of the Dragon Song and Travelers. This truly is a chance to start over, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's been a very long time since I have felt the dirt on my feet and the wind on my face, like truly on my face. Small gods are not that different from you all. We're all part of this cycle. Every single one of us was a person once, or a part of a person, a part of their dreams, part of their thoughts. I'm thanking you. Thank you so much for allowing me to come full circle once again. The very last of my divinity, because energy cannot be created nor destroyed. Not really. Is in the ship. The ship will take you to the next step in your journey. It's yours until you're ready to move on from it. You will need to use your magic, your thoughts, and your heart to shape it. But it is yours. Name it what you like. Once it is named, the magic is done. It will take you to your destination. Thank you, Celine. All of you. He points to the ship, which is still kind of out of focus. It's so blurry. And says, I wish you all luck in the next phase of your journey. But me, I have classes to teach. And he starts going down a footpath, making his way down to the port.
Can we give you a gift before? Can I give you a gift before you go?
Absolutely. He stops, turns around.
You wanted magic, and this is not probably what you were expecting. And I sort of like whisper to Lumpy, and Lumpy flies to him. And I approach and I show him where Lumpy likes to be petted. Something I can always do is pet my light wing.
Mm-hmm.
And I want him to experience the response that Lumpy gives when he Lumpy is just adored.
He starts to illuminate and glow and shine. Oh,
that's what it feels like to give gifts. That's the magic.
Wow, you have a very, very special friend. And he just
don't spoil him. Oh no,
puts Lumpy back on your shoulder. So many more classes to teach.
And we all have so much to learn. Thank you for this.
Most welcome.
As as Mallard heads away, Pip is going to write something new into the story of this world as a bard.
Oh.
They are going to spend a token. I'm going to spend a token for them.
Yeah.
And they are going to banish the folklore from the grotto. That there is some teacher in the rocks here.
Oh.
And replace it with the folklore that this grotto is an ever-present and open and receptive place for all learning from all walks of life.
So as you do that, you breathe in, and the sea breeze comes all around you, and you feel compelled to close your eyes as you visualize this moment, and you see these white threads that are thin and glowing that appear around you, and you all hear this song, this distant song, which you recognize, Celine, from when you were on a sky cart overlooking a forest, thinking of the folklore of a place, as you witness a magic that has been seen a few times in this story manifest. We see the shimmering light of godhood peacefully vanish from the eyes of Mallard, as Mallard's fate and destiny is totally unwoven from the burdens of divinity. And they move into the world as a teacher who maybe once was a small god in a distant dream and nothing more. And then, Pip, you exhale, and it's done. It's truly, truly done.
Once it's done, Celine is kind of going to pat Pip on the head, like, and she's going to sort of play with their hair, like not just a little pat. She's going to keep her hand there, as she does, sort of like a mom trying to keep her child close, like sort of like that.
And we're going to do something a little interesting. And we're going to play with the mechanics a little bit. As you all, your eyes, now that that's happened, now that the teacher is upon the world, Mallard the teacher, the ship is a nature in the game. And we're going to build it. So in the Google Drive for my players that I shared with you, there are the guest playbooks. The guest playbooks have the ship nature inside of it. The ship nature, just to let everyone know, is created by M. Vasilek. They wrote The Seeker, The Mist, and The Ship. And it is on page 55 of the Guest Wander Home Playbook. And I love the guest books. A lot of the flavor that I have for this setting comes from these. So we are going to take a look, and we're going to build our ship, the four of you, as it takes the form of your inner idea about what the ship should be that's going to take you to your next destination. A ship is a place that carries people, goods, and ideas on its back towards a destination. This place can always describe the very tip of something, a way out, and off course. show us someone's longing, and take away someone's privacy, freedom, or vigor, and give them a token. So it's got kind of like piratey themes. I'm going to put that in our little Google Drive. So, as you're approaching the ship, what two aesthetic elements do you all want to manifest as you get closer to it? Your list is rickety planks, clean white canvas, scars from old cannon fire, clacking gears and churning engines, a rowdy crew full of vinegar, a somber captain worth their salt, or something else of your own invention.
Can you share this link with us, please?
Absolutely. I thought it was in... Here we go. I will put it in the streaming chat. Here you go, Steve.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Thank you for letting me know. I thought y'all had it. So yeah, there's like 7 aesthetic elements, and it's on page 55.
Got it. As we are looking over this, when Lumpy came back, he didn't come back to me. He came back to Snow, and basically, if you had any doubt that all was forgotten and from like a bad phrasing or a phrasing that Lumpy didn't like, but the sentiment was great that you were suggesting a companion for him, then it's solidified. He's over it, and not only has he forgiven you, but he's like, oh, that was a cool idea. I got a playmate.
Yes.
As soon as Lumpy lands on Snow's shoulder, Snow reaches into his pocket and pulls out a leftover piece of the sandwich that he saved on purpose, and offers that to puts it on his shoulder so that Lumpy can have at it whenever.
Yeah, Lumpy goes at it.
And this is why I will never actually be his best friend.
Oh no. Okay.
I think based on the previous location that we were at, which was the town with all the docks, I think I pitched the idea for it to still have charred remains from the war and stuff like that. So to keep in line with that vibe, I think scars from old cannon fire makes sense.
Okay.
For the ship. There's like probably dents, and it's been rebuilt, but there is still elements of that purposely have not been removed or fixed, I guess.
I
on
think
purpose
what would be cool is, apart from the cannonball things, that like the signs of war, like Steve said, if because of the fact that this was gifted to us by technically our magic and Mellor's divinity, I feel like it would be cool if the ship was sort of built like it was meant to fit us. Like it fits our aesthetic. Maybe there are different things that represent each of us. Maybe there's some witchy things. Maybe there's like lanterns which are shaped like ravens, or maybe that sort of thing. Like,
you want to put like enchanted sea lanterns?
Not necessarily, just I actually, yeah, that will work. Yeah, that will work.
Yeah, I like the idea of like little things that represent each of us. I think that's really cool. Yeah.
I think it fits with the whole thing that Snow was a veteran, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it also fits with the ship went through war.
Here we go. So we've got scars from old cannon fire, and then I wrote enchanted sea lanterns themed to the crew. Or actually, I'll put themed to the travelers.
So if they're themed to the travelers, I guess one of them just doesn't work. It just has no light because that's the one that's themed to snow. No matter how hard you try to light it, it just does not work.
There's no light. What's going on? I think would be more interesting is Conch should be the one without light because Conch carries their light everywhere they go.
Oh,
I like that.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve? Okay.
Yeah. Which surprises you when you get close to the ship. I think maybe your character believes that maybe your lantern doesn't have light, and then you're shocked and surprised when you come upon the ship and your lantern is emitting just like a bright, pale starlight from within. And Conch, the one that looks like yours, which everyone will describe in a moment what your lanterns look like after we pick folklore. But Conch's is not lit. It's just quiet. But it's perfectly sized because they're sea lanterns. They're very big. It has a perch in it. As opposed to like a candle holder or a circuit for like a bulb, if it uses like electricity. Not that electricity is very common in this world, but there's some steampunky places in Casia, some cities. And so we've chosen two aesthetics. What folklore do we want for this ship? We have the figurehead of the old seabird and her ghost, the outlandish rumors about the place we're headed, and the 1,001 ways to jinx a voyage. And we can also create something as well.
I think I saw Rice smile at the same time I did. Yeah,
the 1,001 ways to
the
jinx
same
a
idea.
voyage.
Yeah, because I'm sure we could just be throwing these things out left and right for the next 4 sessions.
I know so many ways to get bad luck that I'm sure I can invent something to jinx a voyage. I'm sure there are ways to jinx a voyage.
We don't roll dice in this, but I usually roll one, so I'm all about the bad luck.
That's the problem. It's true.
That's right.
It's a good, hey, purposeful failure is all good. Like, I'm gonna fail on purpose because also your folklore moves, just a little reminder, does allow you to activate folklores to immediately make that come up in a game. Just something to know in the future as we create our ship. So is there any other, so the details of the ship, the lanterns, small and forgotten gods. Would we say the light in the lanterns? That's one proposal. Actually, what am I doing? Steve, you're the one that's spoken the least. You get to pick what the small and forgotten gods are here, I think. Yes. Yeah. On the ship.
Okay. The They're small little birds, bird-like creatures, like seagulls but tinier,
Yeah.
like almost rat-sized, mouse-sized, and but the noise that they make is louder than any other bird that you've heard before, and they usually sit by the shore, and they fly out about 10 kilometers ish to guide sailors back home. And the reason Snow knows this is because part of his part of his one of his tasks as soldier was when he went when they would attack a coastal town, would be to oil the shores
Oh.
to so that the birds couldn't fly, and they couldn't warn couldn't warn reinforcements about how far things were, and the ships would crash at sea because there was no one to guide them to help defend their home.
Oh. You, as you arrive on the ship, you see a bunch of these birds manifest flying around. Some of them even have like nests up in the roost. Some of them are resting on the shore around this ship. Almost as if they've made this ship like a second home. And you arrive on the decks of the ship. What do you all name it?
How about North?
We could name it the North Star too, because technically it's supposed to take us where we have to go. And you know, the North Star is usually used to guide travelers.
I, as your guide, would love that. I love that. You get on once you name it, the name appears on the side of the ship. Celestial and astrological symbols start to appear all around the ship. The colors start to become like blue and brown and celestial. There's purples. It's all very like kind of water, sky, star themed. The lanterns are all personalized to your character's personal aesthetic. And there's pale starlight radiating out of all of them. That isn't hot, but cool. So there's never that worry that the ship's going to catch on fire from these lanterns. And now that you have named it, the ship deploys, and the various tiny bird spirits start turning into like crew, like, you know, kind of the humanoid figures that are kind of dressed in white and blue, that like almost kind of like a, not a uniform, but like a theme.
Sailor's outfit,
As
like with those sailors' outfits were that you sometimes see in, I don't know, it's costumes and stuff.
yeah, sometimes sort of like more like Italian sailors, like
Oh,
really comfortable, practical outfits, and they just sort of and land and just start like manning the sails all around you, each of them offering like a warm smile of assurance as the ship starts making its way into the ocean, as the sun uh, is starting to set, and you realize so much time has passed. Like you've no idea like how long, but like you're heading off into a beautiful, radiant sunset.
Is the customer from the restaurant this morning that turned into a bird? Is he among our crew?
Yes.
Whoa.
Actually, you see the seagull up on the rook's nest. Um, you notice like they're there, up
Mhm.
there, just kind of looking and watching over you and giving you a nod. I would like for our wrap up on our journey. I want to hand it over to our travelers. Tell me, what is the one thing that you want to do as you're sailing on the North Star away from the city of 1,000 docks unto your next destination? We're going to start with our bard, Pip, and then pass it on to anyone else at the table until that you choose, uh, until we've all gone completely around. And if you have nothing, you could just pass it. It's all good, no pressure. But I want to leave the table today with everyone doing what they felt their character would have done at the end of this tale.
Pip is so fascinated with stories and art and beauty. I think the first thing that they're going to do is inspect every inch of this ship, top to bottom, looking at the figurehead, looking at the lanterns, taking in every detail and committing it to memory. This is going to be a story that they tell for years to come about the genesis of the North Star, this next important part on their journey, not just for them, but for their little family that they have here. They'll spend some time doing that. They'll take in all of the crewmates. They'll take in the sensations, not only physical but emotional, just sort of breathing in how everyone is feeling and remembering that. After a time, I think they will take up Lumpy on that play date, and Pip themselves will turn to Conch and say, "Make sure I'm back to me like this before the sun rises, or else I will forget who I am." Very important. And they will poof turn into a lilac roller, this beautiful sunset colored bird. And they will just enjoy the breeze and the joy of flight throughout the night.
Okay.
And I will pass that naturally on to Conch.
I make sure that Conch is also keeping an eye out for the time. He has a very good internal clock, so between the two of us, hopefully we will. The three of us, we will remember. I think it starts when we first get on the boat. When we see the perch on the lantern, I have a talk with Lumpy, and we make sure that he understands. Like this means that your duty to light our way is here. It's not to stray far from the boat. Lumpy is not used to navigating by sea. Even really cocky birds can get lost when it comes to the ocean. Doesn't when they don't know how to navigate. So
Yeah.
we have that conversation, and then I think I see the cannon fire scars on the boat itself. That's when I notice that, and I think I get quiet and I kind of deflate a little bit, and I kind of retreat into myself for the first leg of the journey.
Okay. Who would you like to pass it on to?
Let's go with Steve.
Okay, so Snow kind of initially when the journey has just started, Snow spots the little bird god things, and it feels more than a little bit of guilt, uh, and just grabs the side of the edge of the boat and just holds it tight and just breathes as he mentally prepares himself for the journey. Uh, as the uh, as he notices Pip turn into a bird, there's another soft smile on his face that is quickly replaced with uh, stoic Snow, because of course, and I'm going to it basically, as the sun starts to set, Snow just sits down on the deck, and if Conch or Serene are nearby, he's going to look over um, to the west where the sun is setting, and take a moment to watch a tiny bit of beauty and describe it to the table. That's an using move. And when I was younger, when I was much younger, my dad used to take me to the beach, and he told me the story, or not really a story. It was more like this natural phenomenon that you can see only at sea level when the sun sets. When the sun sets on the horizon at a certain point, if you're lucky, you see this flash of green light at the exact moment the sun dips down. Uh, we sat there for days, almost every night before he had to leave for the war, trying to spot the green flash. And we never did. And it's been years since then. And whenever I come back to the shore, even in the middle of war, I would always take a minute to sit down, try to watch the sunset, and try to spot that green flash. Still hasn't happened. It's been too long. But who knows? Maybe someday. As the sun sets and there is no green flash. And I pass it on to Rice.
Can I spend the token
Okay.
and perform a little magic again?
Yeah.
I would like to give Snow the chance to see the little green flash.
As you're reaching the moment, Snow, where you know you're not going to see it, you just see this Viridian flash just paint across the horizon, and then it just fades as the last bit of bright orange light dips below the ocean.
Snow just watches it. It watches the green flash, and a tear rolls down his eye. Fuck off! You would have loved to see that. That is so unfair. And then he just closes his eyes and just thinks about his dad.
Celine.
From the moment Celine has gotten on the boat, she was already on the thing of like, okay, all of our luggage is in another place. Let me just transport it here. Oh, what else am I supposed to do? I gotta write a letter to Mallard. I gotta write a letter to thank the Tea Emporium. I gotta what? So she's like been for at least a bit. She's been kind of doing that to make sure that everybody else is comfortable. and taking care of that. And after that, I think it's when she came out when of the places where the rooms are, and she came out and heard the whole story that Snow was saying. And she was like, I've been using magic all day, I can do this as well. So she made sure to give that little green flash, and then, to not disturb him while he's thinking, she's going to bring a little teapot with some tea, warm, and it's like steaming a little bit, and it smells strong, but there's like honey as well on the little tray, and she's going to leave it for Snow to take and pour himself some tea. And she's also going to go and check up on Conch, and you know
And
give Lumpy a little treat.
I think I'm sitting next to Snow I think Snow was telling me that story. So I'm
Okay,
a
then
little rude that you didn't get me tea, but whatever.
no, there would be 2 teacups, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Lumpy has none, but
Nice.
yeah. So she brought tea for people to enjoy.
I take my teacup and I before we drink I toast to fathers and sons.
The group drinks the tea, sits in the moment, eventually joined by Pip. And the North Star continues to sail into the night. And far off in the distance, we can see islands. And flying high above those islands, the shadows of dragons. And with that, we conclude tonight's episode, or today's, depending on what part of the world you're in, of Songs on the Wind, the North Star. Thank you, everyone, for coming with us on this journey. Thank you to Misadventures League for letting me tell these amazing tales. We're just going to do a quick farewell and head off and get some rest. I am going to popcorn it over to Rosie.
All right. Yep. I am Rosie Bodehip, she, her pronouns. Today I was playing Pip, they, them pronouns, and I cannot wait to see what happens next. I will popcorn to Steve.
Hello. Hi, I'm Steve, also known as Sassy Pants. I played Snow Henry because we believe in Snow Henry. But you can find me SteveH4815 on Twitch and Instagram. Sorry, on Twitter and Instagram, and on Sassy Pants 1986 on Twitch. I'm going to pass it over to Alex.
Hey everybody, thanks for having me. Thanks for including me. And thanks for joining us. I've been Alex. I publish and perform as Lex Wilson, and I've been playing Conch, and to a lesser extent, I've been trying to play Lumpy, but he does not take direction. Pass it over to Rice.
Oh, I'm Rice, or for this episode, Sick Rice. I do use they, she pronouns, and today I've been playing Celine, the dragon witch, who uses she, they pronouns. And you can find me on Twitter at the original Lores. I know it's a little bit of a mouthful, but yeah, I'm looking forward to next time.
All right. And as I said, I've been Okami. I've been your host. You can find me at KHE Okami on Twitter and all of the various different socials. Thank you. Good night. And we'll see you next Saturday.
Oh, 2 Saturdays from now, right?
2 Saturdays. Just 2 Saturdays now? Maybe. We'll talk about it later.
What?
All good.